Well, look at these tiny little flowers, y'all. Aren't they tiny? Oh, well, that's a leaf, not really a flower, but it's cute. Look at them. Hey, y'all. APG Jamie here. And today, we're going to make some Rolodex slides plus use a couple other die cuts, dies and whatnottage. Hashtag HAOS media. Okay, I'm using multimedia today. I'm not sure if that's what this much prompt was actually supposed to be. I don't know. I didn't investigate. I just took it and ran with it. Okay? So as long as we're squared up on that. So we're using coffee-dyed paper. They're not soaked for extended periods of time. They're just more or less dipped. I dipped like 3 or 4 pieces of cardstock, took it out, laid it on a closed drying rack and let it dry in the sun. And when I got them all dipped, I took the coffee grounds that were in the bottom of the watery stuff and just kind of splashed it on there. And on a couple of them, I had some yellow or white onion skins, the dry part of the onion skin, and I tossed that down on them too, and that left some coloration as well. Anyway, we're making slides with those little flowers y'all saw the living pictures of, and then I pressed them in a book. Okay, we're not going with the typical circle, which nothing wrong with that. I thought, let's do a Rolodex, because I have Rolodex dies. Okay, I've had them forever. How long is forever? I don't know. Anywhere between 5 and 7 years, probably. Anyway, I also have that folder die that's like a folder. You cut it out and then you fold it in half and you get a little tiny folder, y'all. It's the cutest thing. Anyway, I've used them before, not the Rolodex ones. My bad. Anyway, the folder one I have definitely used before, and we're just using some of my what I think is ugly washi tape to stick it on there. And I want to make sure I have a fold edge that doesn't get cut. It's like when you're cutting fabric and you place it on the fold, you actually place the cutter just a wee bit past the fold. Otherwise, when you press it in the cutting machine, it might cut it. But that's okay, because you can glue the two sides together anyway. It's just kind of easier when you got them already together. And I was like, I want to use the round one. And I'm like, no, I like the square, so I'm going to use the square. And as you may have previously saw, I used the rectangle. Okay, so whatever shape you want your slide to be. It doesn't have to be a slide. You don't have to put anything in the window. Okay, or you put pretty papers in there if you want to, or you can just whatever you want to do. All right, there's no rules and laws and regulations on this, not to my experiential knowledge. It's a real word, because I said it. So we're using the clear plastic that comes on packaging of said dyes, stickers, clearance products, I don't know, whatever it is. And it's amazing how far this one piece went, y'all. So I've got my Rolodex there, and I'm just kind of like pre-sizing it. I'm like, yeah, that'll work. And I'm just gonna more or less cut it right there, straight across. It's kind of longer than I need, but that's okay. This side has a hole in it. Sometimes the clear packaging has a hole, so that when they stuff it at the manufacturing putting it together plant, any air that gets in there will squish out and not make the package go like that. So, it might make that noise. I don't know. I've not been in one of them factories. So I have this really skinny double-sided tape. Okay, I'm not a measurer. I have rulers, but I'm not a measurer. And I'm guessing this is an 1/8 inch. That's a guess. I don't know. I could have read the package, but why bother? So anyway, just putting it on there close practically right on the inner edge there. Okay, y'all? And on the folder die, I was eyeballing the square. On this one, I kind of made a little template to help me line it up so they'd be all mostly kind of the same, mostly kind of being operative there. And I am putting the double-sided tape on all 4 sides because I want the clear plastic to stick on all 4 sides. Now, you can use glue, but it will probably, chances are, weep onto your clear plastic. Okay? Will it dry? Eventually. Will it leave a mark? I'm real sure about that. Will it stick super well? Maybe not. Anyway, that's why I'm using the double-sided tape like that. Okay? So that is a double-pieced piece of clear plastic. See? It's got a fold in it too. Okay. Now I'm going to take my pliers that are just sliding all over the place. And y'all know, I didn't actually line y'all know, sometimes it takes me a minute to get started, but in the end, I'm happy. Anyway, I have glossy accents right there, and I am using the teeniest, tiniest of a drop on there. It's really not noticeable on the slide. These are slides, y'all. You know, like specimen slides. Okay. Anywho, I did that because this is packaging, and they're not necessarily going to smash together like official, real, true scientific slides do. Okay, so I don't necessarily want my little plant material to slide around in there. Will it anyway? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see in a few years, won't we? I don't know how long would it even take. I don't know. Anyway, that's why I'm doing that. And and when I say the tiniest of drop, we're talking about like, you know, half of a pencil lead point. Tiny, y'all. I know, it's like, well, that's just useless. No, it held it in place, so it wasn't useless. Okay, so now we've got our window taped back on. You know, on the underside we taped with the double-sided tape. Now I'm going to use glue to glue the pieces of cardstock together, or you could use paper, but that's really not heavy enough. Anyway, just saying. So we got that. I'm just going to set it under a piece of weight. You know, how much weight is it? I don't know, a few ounces. And just serendipitously, that end that we cut off, that narrow strip, fits on the square for the folder. I mean, really, how serendipitous is that? So I am getting 4 of these things from one package. Cool, huh? I thought it was cool. Anyway, as you're going to see, when this folds up, it's not actually a folder anymore, but it's got the tab, so you could, like, you know, whatever. And I printed out some what did I print out? Oh shoot, I made up some labels and computer printed them plus more, yeah. And I used a couple different colors of ink and a couple different fonts and, you know, stuff like that, because if you're going to do it, you might as well play with it. So you know how well glossy accents just clogs up. Anyway, there is a slight humming, and I thought I had it worked out, but I keep hearing it off and on, and maybe it's just myself, whatever. That's cool. Anyway, maybe you can't hear it. Please don't hear it, because that is like so annoying. Any hooties, sticking them on there. Some are cuter than others, but you know, that's the way it goes when you're having a mass making project like this, you know. Like I said, hashtag AJOS Media, better known as Art Joy of Sharing. Putting our tape on so we can slide our other part of our window. It's now window, y'all. And You can use hard packaging. Oh, you can also use, you can laminate these, okay? If you got a laminating machine, if you want to, you can. Now, I've seen people take fresh flowers and laminate them, or leads or whatever little thing, and laminate them straight away. I have not done that, but my brain, my logical side of my brain says don't do that, because we're pretty humid and we get pretty hot in my neck of the woods down here in Texas, okay, my part of Texas. Those things have moisture in them. And I know sealing it up in a laminator, because it's sealed, y'all, seems like it would be just fine. But don't forget, they have moisture in them. No matter where you are, you're going to have some temperature variances. Okay, if you put them in a cabinet, in a book, whatever, there's going to be temperature variances. And with that brings condensation. It's a real fancy scientific word for like when you pour cold, iced tea in a glass, and the outside of the glass gets them pretty little droplets on it, and it makes it slip so that it slicks, so that the glass falls out of your hand and breaks on the floor, and then you got iced tea and glass and ice cubes everywhere. Anyway, it produces condensation. Now, my logical brain says that's going to happen, and eventually it's going to mildew or mold or whatever, because it's a living thing, and surely it's got bacteria on. I don't know. I've not done it, but that's just what my logical brain says, so I didn't do it that way, okay? So even if you have two separate cards and you're cutting a circle out of the middle, I recommend, my tip for y'all is cut the middle out with those two flat pieces of card together so that your middle section will be in the same spot. It's just easier. Now, I've got different stamp dies or date dies over here, so I thought, well, we're just going to, date them up differently. We're going to put labels on there, which we did. If you was watching, you probably saw me when I was yibber-yabbering. And now I'm going to do some handwriting. I'm going to say catalog. But my ink pen didn't work very well, but I didn't worry about it. I'm like, whatever. Because I've got a date, for when it was picked or peeled or slided, and then I got a catalog date. Yeah, it's just all made up junk, y'all. All made up junk. And I thought that one just looked a little bare up there in that corner. So I have this, I'm going to say the brand name Scotch tape, but it's not Scotch tape, y'all. We're talking about me, Clarence Girl. Anyway, it's some clear tape that you use to tape wrapping packages or whatever together. And I took my archival coffee ink and rubbed over it with the blending foam thing and put that on there, and then I hit it with coffee color because, it's just like making it a different shades there, and set it over there, and it just dried however long it dried, overnight, over weekend. I don't know how long it was, y'all. It was set up there for a while. And I thought, well, we'll just put a piece of that on there because, looks cool. Looks cool. Anyway. So I'm using Art Glitter Glue, and then I'm using Allene's Original Tacky Glue, both of which are now my favorites. Okay. And eventually we'll use some fabri-fix too, and you've already seen me use the double-sided tape, so we're just running the gamut today. Those particular flowers happen to have been a little flower head all of their own. Not all of those flowers came out that way, but that one did. Now you can decorate your slides up, or you can just do them like scientific slides, okay? Now, when you put these little dolls on there, sometimes they peek out of the other side, so you need to kind of think, is that okay with you? Or do you want it to be a double-sided thing? Now, in this case, I thought, well, we're just going to make it double-sided because we're showing people options here. So we just had a little piece of book page laying over there on the right side of me, and then another, the same page. I got several different pages set over there because I just grab them sometimes. Anyway, and I inked around them, and here's a little word. It says cozy. I thought, why did I put that on there? Because I wanted to, because that's what it said. My head says, put that word on there, and I was like, okay, and I put that ribbon on there, and I was like, okay. And then we come back and we put some of the book pages on the other side over here. I also have some little plastic things from the Dollar Tree. They're not diamonds, so we put them on there too. Now we're going to do the store-bought or Amazon-bought coin holders, okay? And I have made a die-cut circle. It's actually a little too big to cover up this circle, but I'm using it anyway because it's what I got and I wasn't trimming nothing. And I put a tiny piece of repositional double-sided tape on the back side of it, and I covered up my cellophane, you know, my clear plastic on them. And now we're going to put those flowers in there. That's just one petal. And I'm not putting the glossy accents on these because they're going to fill up that space pretty good, so I'm not too worried about it sliding around. Okay, so we're just going to do a bunch of them, and y'all saw me stamp them. Okay, I covered up the cellophane with the mask and stamped them, and then the outside of these coin holders is a little glossy, not really glossy, but you know, they're moisture resistant because they're to protect coins, y'all, real coins. So you gotta let them dry for a little bit. Even if you use stays on or whatever, you still gotta let them dry. So some of my glue squished into the cellophane part. I'm not going to worry about that because I'm sending these off in Happy Meals, and whoever gets them is just going to have to be like, yeah, I'm okay with it, or I'm not okay with it. Throw it away, cover it up, whatever they want to do. Okay, because once I put it in the mail in the envelope, it's no longer my problem. Anyway, I'm inking all around them. I'm double inking because I love the garden patina, and I think it looks good with purple, and that's a hydrangea flowers, and they started out as pink. Okay, they were pink and white, and then they went all pink, and then as they dry, you know, I snipped them off and dried them between book pages, and they turned purpley. So there we go. And I thought, well, let's fancy these up and just put a word on them, and little one of them, it's not a diamond, y'all. It's them little plastic things that's got the divot in the middle. They look diamond-ish. We're going to put these diamond-esque looking things on there. Okay? And now the benefit of the coin holders is that is probably good for long-term storage, because I'm sure they have, you know, that acid-free whatever. Oh, photo montage. Whereas the slides I handmade with cardstock and packaging, store packaging, okay, that's probably not archival. But anyway, that's just how it goes. Now you can put birth dates on there, the date you make it, a special anniversary date, a made-up date, whatever kind of dates you want on there, you can put it on there, except the food date. I would recommend putting that on there. You can use pictures or decorate them or not decorate them. There's places you can do your own personal journaling, like you can make up the slide base and take it on vacation with you and just do some little journaling, like today's weather was hot as hell and tomorrow's weather is going to be freezing as hell, or whatever, you know, whatever you want to. Okay, because nobody said slides, you know, scientific specimen slides has to be a specific way, depending on what kind of project. Look at that tape up there in the corner, y'all. That's pretty cool looking. Anyways, I appreciate each and every one of you, your kind comments, your likes, your shares, and your subscriptions. Don't forget to search the hashtag. Thanks for watching, and happy arting, y'all.